today I'm here in the heat wave in Ottawa. It's like 28 degrees out right now, and it's gonna go back to cooler, more normal temperatures coming up this week. And I think there's even gonna be a frost overnight on Wednesday. So it's very misleading, this weather. It's completely feels like July. So today what I'm going to be doing in this episode is I'm going to be pruning my hydrangeas. Hey, this is a Limelight hydrangea. I have 6 of them, 5 in the front and 1 in the back. And you can just remove those if you want. You could leave them all winter because they're pretty and they have winter interests on them. I even use them to decorate my window planter. So these are only in their 2nd year, so there's really nothing much to prune except for anything that broke off. There was a lot of snow, and so there's some broken pieces here, and then there's some like spindly crossing branches that I'm gonna prune off. So I'll get a little closer maybe. Oh, that's as close as you get. So I'll take off this one and these broken ones down here and this dead one and this broken. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there are buds growing on it, which is really good. Sorry, it's a bus. And oh, this one's broken. And what you normally would do when your hydrangeas are like kind of getting too big for their area is you cut it down by 1/3, and then it'll promote more growth. So I'm just gonna cut mine down even less than that, and it'll promote more growth and kind of like shape it, because there's some that are a little bit more wild. So you snip it. If you look at the bud, try to snip it in the direction that you want your shrub to grow the next branch. So the bud is aiming a certain way. So if you want it to grow up this way, that's fine. Or if you want it to grow out that way, that's okay, whichever way you want. Some people will say like definitely don't have it come into the shrub because you want air circulation in there. So it's like would defeat the purpose to keep pruning so that the shrub branches would start growing into themselves. So you kind of pick more of like an area that sticks out way. And it just seems like all of my buds in this branch want to come inwards. This one's kind of out, so I'll snip right above the bud for that one. This one too. This one. And you can compost it, or basically just I leave it on the ground. It'll just compost itself unless it gets too messy, and then I'll clean it up later. There we go. That's all I'm gonna do for this one. And I have all the rest of them to do, and I'll just put it on a time lapse for that. Show you the damage on this middle guy right here. First of all, he's aimed completely towards the house. It's like he's been smushed in that direction. I remember there was like a little bit of aiming that way, but not this much. And then of course a whole branch was here and it snapped off from the weight of the snow, I gather. And then oh, there's just a lot of damage here. And this one here is gonna have to go. This guy is gonna have to go. Even this one. Oh, let me focus. This one right here, it's coming off. So we got some weird shaping to do on this one. But you know what? They're very hardy, they're very tough. It'll be okay. Alright, the front ones are done, and a lot of them got damaged. This is the good one. It's got like a kind of nice shape to it, and I just trimmed it down like not even a third and got rid of all the broken ones. This one had a lot of broken ones, and we've got nothing coming out the front. They're all aiming towards the house, and there's a lot of damage. I had to cut off a branch there, and it just kind of leaves an open wound, but I'm gonna let it heal itself and hope for the best, and just keep my eye out on it. This one here, the opposite. All of the branches are coming my way, nothing towards the house except for this guy who does have buds on it, and so, you know, I'm not too worried of them surviving because they're quite hardy, but it's just going to be a really weird shape. Like nothing's coming up through the center here. So as it grows and gets stronger and more mature, I'll have to shape them better. Same thing with this one, really weird shape, lots of broken, so much broken branches and damage. Huge one here. This guy I don't think is going to survive. It's open and broken right there, but he's like the only branch going out this direction. So I want to keep him. I don't even have a branch going out this direction, and then I have this branch coming forward that's from all the way over there instead of here, because like I think this whole section is just a mess, but there are buds on this one stem. This tiny little thin thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it, and I'll keep my eye on that branch there that's sore. This has a good shape, and I had some crisscrossing branches that I got rid of, and that was basically it. Otherwise, just some dead ones that I got rid of, like this one here. This one's not even budding up, so I can actually cut that at the base. I guess I missed it. There's a lot going on in that area. So we'll just cut down here, you can see. And then that way it's not going to interfere up here where these buds are growing. And yeah, so they say like never to have these branches coming inwards, like into the plant, but because my leader isn't in the center in a lot of my plants, I'm just gonna go ahead and let, you know, these two come in towards the center here, because nothing's really in its way, because I don't have any center leader. So I think it'll be okay. I just again took off like a little less than a third, so these will grow. This Limelight in my backyard is its third season, and it actually looks so great, and it had a pile of snow on it, but I think the stems are just more mature and they're thicker and stronger, and so I didn't have anything to contend with except for one main branch, and I'll see if I can aim it. See there? A huge branch fell off, but that one was going inwards anyway, so it would have to have been removed either way. So for this one, I know I should take it down a bit, but I'm excited for it to grow really, really big in this corner. This is the corner of my fence, and I want it to grow as high as the fence. So I just feel like, I know that pruning them does promote growth. So I think I'm just going to make sure that the buds are aimed in the direction in which I want it to grow next, and then that way it will promote the growing like of where the branches are and get rid of anything crossing. Like this one is crossing. That's not good, so I unfortunately have to snip that one away. And I'm supposed to get rid of the spindly ones, but I'm going to keep them because I was mentioning in another video that when I pruned this guy last year, I just kept some like main branches in the right direction that I wanted, and I got rid of all the spindly ones. And then I found that because this is a more shaded area, the main stems grew so large and long, and then of course they got floppy because of their flowers are so big too, right, in the Limelight. So those panicles were a little too heavy because I think that these stems were reaching for the sun, so they got longer than normal maybe. Anyways, in another video that someone was doing, they kept all their little baby stems, and maybe it'll help support the heaviness of the blooms. So even though it's not technically required or even recommended, I'm going to try it out for next year and see how it goes. This one's crossing. Yeah. Oh, one broke here too. Okay, it's bound to happen. This one's crossing. This one's gonna be a problem, but not a problem yet. And then this one's crossing here. This one's a leader, or it's just really big. I don't know if it's a leader. What should I do? All right, I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Yeah. Next we have in the other corner, opposite the other hydrangea, is a Firelight hydrangea. So it goes red panicles, and which it's really hard to see, I know, because the earth is the same color as the stems. But what's really funny about this one, I find, is that there's this one stem. I finally, out of all my hydrangeas, have this center stem straight up the middle. It's so random, but I'm appreciative of it because none of my other hydrangeas have a center stem. So this one, again, I'm just gonna like come in and get rid of anything that's crisscrossing, and I'm just gonna pare it down a bit to get these blooms off. Just little snips around. Let's see, this one's crossing that one, so I'm not gonna shape anything just yet. Just let me see what it looks like without these flower heads on them first, and I'll get a better sense. There you are. Sorry for the bad lighting, but hey, it's sunny. I don't want to complain. Oh, damage. So that just came undone. This came undone. Something, either snow damage or an animal, I'm not sure. I'm just doing to the next green bud. That's all I'm clipping at the moment before I decide to shape it. Okay. Oh, little broken stem here. Oh, you can't even see. I'm like aiming so poorly. Sorry about that. All right, so now I'm just gonna little trims and aim exactly where I want each bud to grow out towards. Okay, so I went in and I got rid of all of the stems that were brushing up against the floor because I don't need it that low. I want air circulation down there. And there seemed to be a lot of them because of this separation that happened a year ago. I left the main leader all the way to the top because these buds don't seem to be growing. Only the top ones are growing. So I'm like, if I cut it, I'm not gonna get anything. So I have to leave it that tall. So I said, okay, I'll leave the other one that's tall. Same thing. So it looks like there's 2 strong ones there. And then there's like nothing at the back. And on this side is like a messy bunch of stuff. I just got rid of the ones that were crossing right now. This one here is going to probably become a problem. They're not touching at the moment, but I have a feeling they might, but I think it'll be okay. I'll only prune it if like this flower gets heavy and it's leaning against it. I'll just keep my eye on it. All right, Firelight's done. Coco? Firelight's done. Next up, we have a Pinky Winky hydrangea, also panicle, and it is only, I think I planted it in late summer, so there's nothing much to do here. It looks like it's hanging out, going towards the left. So I'm just gonna prune off a couple of these, and that's it. Okay, looking at this long one, yeah, it's got buds on it. And I can see that this bud is coming out this way, but these are coming out that way. This one here is coming out that way. So I'm gonna probably use this one. Here it's too close to the fence. So I'm going to look for buds that are kind of going away from the fence. So this bud is this way, up towards me, and that way. Oh, there's a bit of damage on this one. Oh no, that's not damage. There's just a bud coming through the center. It's coming straight through the center. Instead, I'll pick the bottom one underneath it because it has a bud going straight up. So I'm gonna try that to avoid the fence. And lastly, over here, I think I'll just make you a little shorter as well. I like this bud here because it's pointing towards me this way. All done, Pinky. All of my panicle hydrangeas or paniculata hydrangeas are done. The Limelight and the Firelight, and now I'm coming up to the smooth hydrangea. It blooms a little bit earlier. It's native to Ontario. And it's got more, instead of like panicle, like pointed ends of the blooms, it's got round blooms. And this one grows on new wood, I believe. So people often cut it right down to the base, but like, what? I'm a little confused with the whole like new wood and old wood thing. Maybe I'll have to double check smooth hydrangea. It's getting hot. Had to bust out the old sun hat. And I'm on to the next, okay, yeah, I just confirmed with the interwebs. And Google says it flowers on new wood. So this is going to become a stem with leaves, and then that will create flowers, but not this stem. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shape it. That's all I have to do is shape it. You go there. Look at this wonky thing. You go there. This one's a bit tall, eh? But if I cut him, yeah, can I cut him down there? Well, actually, he's at the back, so you know what? Let's let this one get big and floppy, and I'll support it if I have to. This one, and this one, and this guy, and you. And what is happening here? What is that? I don't know. I guess there's fine. And a cocoa bean. Okay, I barely even trimmed it, which is totally fine. Ooh, this one's rubbing. Ooh, what do I do? What do I do with that? I want both. Right on each other. Can I prop them? Can I separate them? Oh wait, there's one on the ground. You see this guy? He's like, I'm a snake. He's just snaking his way. I'll pick one where, yeah, the stem here is gonna come up, straight up. So I will snip you there. And what do I do with this crossing one? But I want blues. I'm so picky. Okay, fine. I'll get rid of this one. There. Now it's not rubbing against anything. So yeah, I know this is like so much fear, eh? Whenever you're pruning shrubs. All right, she looks great. One more hydrangea. Okay, now la creme de la creme. We've got the famous hydrangea that I had to cover here. It's called Endless Summer Hydrangea, and it's a Macrophylla hydrangea, so like big leaf people call it. And I had taken all these stems and pinned them to the ground back in the fall, and then I covered with like leaves and peat moss. I don't know which one's better, but I had peat moss for the roses, so I just covered it with that. And I did this drastic process because technically they're not super hardy here. They will survive, but they won't grow on old wood at all unless they are super protected in this climate. So I tried to protect it so it would grow on old wood, so we would get blooms early. So all these buds that you see, let me turn around, all these buds that you see should produce flowers, like and apparently it has ended up having like a couple flushes, right? So what I noticed was towards the end of my stems, it's all dried out and did not survive. And there's buds that just look like that. And they're crunchy and they can just snap off. And that is not a good bud. And then there's like randomly green ones right here. Oh, you can tell I did a scratch test like 2 weeks ago to see how far down, because then this one is all dried up, these buds. So it looks like where there's green buds, it doesn't have to, see, this is where I'm a little screwed up. It's like that grows into another stem. Wouldn't that be the new wood? I need to Google the science behind growing on old wood and new wood, because I'm like, this looks a lot like the smooth hydrangea, but apparently they bloom on this instead of having to start from the base again. So old wood, right? Old wood. Okay, anyways, so I'm just gonna go ahead and snip where I see a green bud. And if I don't see a green bud, if I see like this, oh, that's a green bud. Oh my God, almost snipped it off. Guys, be careful. This guy had a dried out bud skin and then it's green inside. It tricked me. Oh my gosh. You see that? There's a green one above it. It's green inside. It just looks kind of dried out. Like maybe they won't be viable, but this is the first time I've even seen any buds. So I'm kind of happy in that regards. So there. And here there's buds all the way to the end. Almost the end. Really close to the end. So yeah. And nothing's broken because it was so flat to the ground that there was no damage from the snow. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim all the other ones up to the greenest bud, or at least like one that's kind of, you know, if you touch it, it's smushy. And hopefully we get some blooms early. I literally Googled it and I still couldn't quite get a proper answer besides like smooth hydrangeas bloom on new wood, not old wood. And so the old wood must be forming new stems in which those will bud up for flowers. And then this one, Endless Summer Hydrangea Macrophylla, blooms on old wood and new wood. And since the old wood is budded up, is it budded up with flower buds? Or are they gonna be stems and then produce flowers? But then that would be like the smooth hydrangea. So I'm like, I'm sure it's both. Like, shouldn't there be flower buds
on, like, these must be flower buds. Flower buds? Oh, they kind of look like the other ones. They don't look like flower buds at all. They look they look like stem buds. I guess we'll find out very soon, or someone can maybe comment exactly what I mean, because the way I question it in Google, it doesn't seem to understand what I'm asking it. I'll even look for diagrams, and it's just like, it just keeps pointing to the stems and being like, this old wood, and then a new growth, it'll be like this new wood, and like it wouldn't explain anything other than that. So yeah, I'm just happy it's alive. And this is the end of my hydrangea pruning session. Please enjoy the weather.